Welcome to Toyota Time with Timmy the Toolman and Sean. Today is the fourth installment of this shop remodel, and on this part I'm getting the electrical panel installed on the wall by the company Chet's Electric. They are going to be the guys that I chose to do all the electrical work for me. So let's meet a couple of these guys that works for Gabe, the owner of Chet's Electric. So the two guys that showed up from Chet's is Caleb. He's the journeyman on site now, and then he's got another young buck called Izzy. He's back at the back of the truck there. He's an apprentice. He's 1 year into his apprenticeship. We need more guys like Izzy getting into the trades. If you're in college and you're feeling like you don't want to go to college anymore, get into the trades. It's good money, and you always have a job.
It's a good place to be.
How you liking being an electrician so far, Izzy?
Oh, I love it. The work's good. The crew's good. Yeah, I love it.
Nice.
Got no complaints.
So it's going to go right on the wall right here, right?
So yeah, that'll be the service. That's this thing right here. It's a 200 amp service, 40/80 distribution. So there'll be some circuits on the outside or some distribution if you want to, send power out to like your flagpole or whatever else you were talking about.
Oh yeah.
And then there'll be a full-size panel inside for all of the circuits inside. So
nice.
yeah.
So Caleb, how long have you been an electrician?
I started part-time in 2005, went on full-time in 2010, and have been doing it ever since. So yeah, 15, 16, almost 16 years full-time now.
And so what does it take to become a journeyman electrician?
So depending upon where you're at, what state you're in, most of them are a 4-year apprenticeship program. So it's 4 years of schooling, 8,000 hours of on-the-job training, and then you become eligible to take a journeyman's exam. Once you pass that, then you are a journeyman electrician who can work independently and without supervision. You still have to work underneath an assigning supervisor, so I have to work for a registered company, but I do have the ability with some more testing and a few more certifications to be able to go out and work on my own.
Cool.
So, yeah.
So do you know how long has Gabe owned Chet's Electric now?
Since 2008.
So Chet was the guy who originally started the business and sold it after he retired, correct?
Chet unfortunately actually passed away.
He passed away. Oh,
Quite
okay.
a few years ago. I never met him. His son took the company over. It changed hands a few times, and then Gabe ended up purchasing it.
So these guys are my choice to run all the electrical in the shop. They do good work, and I'm excited to have power to the shop very soon. All right, they've got the panel mounted on the outside of the building, and I'll show you what it looks like on the inside. At some point soon, there's going to be all kinds of fuses there for all the power I'm going to need inside the shop. Now they're working on pulling some rope through, so when Central Electric is ready to assist with pulling the wire from the transformer, that could happen. So how do you get that rope through the line? What's the technique?
So what we do is just use a vacuum cleaner. It's basically a big long straw, if you want to think of it that way. We put what's called a mouse on the end of the string, and then we use the vacuum cleaner to suck the string through with the mouse, and then we put rope onto it, and we pull a rope that's capable of handling the weight of the conductors when the utility company pulls it through.
So what is the mouse? Is it a plastic bag? What is it?
It actually looks just like this. It's a big plug. It's a big foam plug. This one's a 4-inch. This is a 3-inch raceway, so it's not going to fit. But if you want to hang out for a second and let us pull this through, you'll see the mouse come through and the string along with it.
Sweet.
Okay.
And then what size cable is Central Electric? I'm guessing it's going to be a copper cable, right?
No, it's going to be aluminum.
Aluminum?
Copper's just far too expensive. So the utility companies and us as well typically use aluminum in residential applications just because the cost is too great to pull copper. So I'm not really sure what size they'll be pulling. Maybe 4/0 aluminum, something of the sort. This is about a 260-foot run, but that'll be up to their engineers to decide.
Now, is there inherent advantages of copper over the aluminum?
Copper is a better conductor no matter how you look at it. However, it becomes cost prohibitive when you start getting into larger gauge conductors to use it on really long runs like this. It would just be astronomically expensive versus aluminum. If you were to look at a chunk of 4/0 copper versus 4/0 aluminum price per foot, the copper is going to be 3 times the cost of the aluminum.
Wow.
So
okay. So you might not get as good of a conduction with the aluminum. You lose a little bit.
Potentially, but it would be nothing that the average ordinary human being would notice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good to know.
Your
Okay.
house right now is fed with aluminum conductors from the utility company.
Okay.
So.
All right. So I'm not going to worry about not having copper.
No, sir. All of your wiring inside, all the branch circuit wiring will be copper. We don't even use aluminum subgauge conductors for that stuff anymore. We just use aluminum for the big conductors because it's cheaper, and it works every bit as good for this type of application. If this was a mill that's drawing tremendous amount of power, we would probably go for copper conductors over aluminum.
Cool.
So.
All right. Let's see how this works to pull the rope through the conduit. Do you need a certain strength shop vac for it, or just any like standard shop vac would do it?
You could probably get away with a standard shop vac for shorter distances. This one's got a little more oomph than most.
Okay.
But yeah, you could probably do it with a rigid shop vac or something of the sort, you know?
Okay.
Yeah.
So he has the plug on the other side right now?
Correct.
Okay.
Yep. So we're just going to use this vacuum cleaner to pull that string right there straight through the raceway.
Okay.
We ran out of rope, so we've got to tie an extra piece onto it to get it through. We're just burning up some little scrap rolls that we had at the shop.
Gotcha.
So it's going to get thrown away anyway. So.
Gotcha. So how heavy is 250 feet of that aluminum cable? Like, does it take some serious pulling power to pull that thing through?
The utility company is going to use mechanical winches for it. They don't do it by hand anymore. It's just too much chance for injury. We're probably talking this distance, if it's 4-aught, 500-ish pounds at least.
Wow, 500 pounds of cable.
Yeah.
Okay, so now I know why you're not pulling it by hand.
Yeah, exactly right. You ready? Here's the rope we just pulled through with the vacuum cleaner. Usually we use string first and then we pull the rope, but this was a straight enough shot that we were just able to pull the rope in one shot. So.
And then where was that little bung thing that you pulled through?
Mouse. That's this guy right here.
So that was the 3-inch one.
Yep, this is the 3-inch one. This is what was tied to it, and the vacuum cleaner just sucks it through.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's a handy little tool. And now we just tie this off for the utility company to hook onto when they're ready to pull, and that completes our job. At
Sweet.
least for today.
So what is the next step now? I guess we have to get the county inspector out here to inspect it, and you have to do a grounding rod too, right?
Ground rods are actually already done.
They're already
so
done.
You can see them right over here. So this is our ground rod right here. It's 8-foot long rod that's hammered straight down into the dirt. And then we have a supplemental ground rod over here. So there's actually 2 of them that we have to put in by code. They're 8 feet deep in the ground, and that is what we call your grounding electrode conductor. It is there to negate a lightning strike if your building were to ever be hit by lightning, or the utility somewhere nearby your house. If that were to come through the phase conductors and get into your service, those are meant to pick up that lightning strike and keep it away from interfering with your electrical inside of the house or inside of the shop in this place, blowing TVs up, that kind of thing.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So how long does it usually take to get a county inspector out here?
Usually 24 to 48 hours. It depends on when we put the call in and when they can get us on the schedule, but it's pretty quick.
So that is the next step, right?
That is the next step. Yeah, we get the county out here to inspect the service, basically this and this. If they're happy with it, they put a green tag on it. We call the utility company and they'll come and pull the conductors in and heat it up. And then we can start roughing in the inside of your shop.
Sweet.
Yeah.
You're a wealth of knowledge, Caleb.
Well, I've been doing it a couple of days.
Right on. All right, that concludes this part of the shop remodel series. I have to say I'm starting to get pretty damn excited of getting power to this shop and getting all the wires ran to all the different receptacles and to power the lift and to have a 220 outlet to run a welder and all that sort of stuff. So it's actually coming together. It's going a little slow, but not that bad. I'm actually getting this stuff done pretty quickly with the people that I've been hiring to help me. With all that said, we thank you for watching Toyota Time with Timmy the Toll Man and Sean. We will be back with more videos. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. If you haven't subscribed yet, I don't know what you're waiting for. Click on that subscribe button. Also click on that notification bell if you'd like to be notified when we put up new content on our channel, which we are always putting up very helpful and interesting content like this video here. I hope you guys are enjoying this coverage that I'm doing of the shop remodel. If it's getting old, let me know, but I think quite a few of you are interested in how this whole process is going. So I'm going to keep documenting all the things I'm doing to get this shop up and running. The next video is going to be after the county inspector has approved the panel installation with the grounding rods and all that sort of thing. And then I will document the pulling of the wire from the transformer to this and getting this wired up. Peace out. Happy wrenching. Bye-bye.